Hello, this is Ari from Solace. In this video, I will show you how Solace PubSub Plus Event Broker deals with slow consumer. And this is the mission control homepage for Solace Cloud. You see we have event portal for the design time and also the streaming for the runtime. So I'm gonna create a service here. You'll see that you are able to choose whether you want to do a developer service or an enterprise service, which is highly available, and you can select how big it should be. So for this one I'm just going to use 200 gigabyte for the message store. Then you'll just need to select where we want this to run, or any of those three public cloud provider, or in this case I'm going to be using my team VPC in AWS Singapore. Then you just give it a name, and I'm gonna use a demo one for now. Then you can start the service, but for this one I would like to also enable a plain text messaging port for my test later on, and that's it. So this is going to take a few minutes to complete. Meanwhile, I'm going to show you this is the VPC. So now I don't have the broker's EC2 instance running while it's still being created, but I already have a few instances just for the test later on, the SDK per publisher and subscriber for the clients. So I believe it's still being instantiated. Let me clear the filter now. Yep. So because we are doing highly available brokers, it's gonna be 3 instances. Yep. So you'll see primary, backup, and then monitor. So this is gonna be a rather large machines, M5X large in this case, and the monitoring will be rather smaller. And for the application client, I'm just gonna use a T2 micro. Also for the subscriber, it's the same. Yep, so this is what you see when it's done. It's gonna give you all the details. So next, let's see how to connect to this broker. So we provide for multiple stack or protocols. Also a little bit of getting started tutorial there for Spring and others, and the connection details is there, but we can also immediately try it out by using this built-in publisher and subscriber applications. So this is a JavaScript application embedded. Let me just subscribe to this try me topic and then send. You see we are able to publish and subscribe to a message. Right. So we're going to be using those connection details later on. So this is the 2 EC2 instances that I'm going to be using for the applications simulation. So this is the usual stuff. We just need to connect to that instances, and for SDK perf we can download from solace.com/download. For this case I'll be using a Java version of SDK perf, so I'm gonna be needing to download JDK as well. So I already have this for the first terminal. I'm gonna connect to the publisher instance, and the other 3 I'm gonna be using it for subscribers. So I've done the JDK installation beforehand, so it's ready to go. Depending on your machines, you will need to do it differently. So this is the SDK perf installation. It's basically a tool or a utility that we use to do performance tests or any test basically, just to publish and subscribe. I have everything the same on all terminals. Now, to make it rather easy, I'm just gonna have environment variables stating the URL to connect to for the broker. Just copy pasting it from there. I need to do the same for all terminals later on. So this is the username, same thing. I do need to have the VPN name at the back for Solace API. Yeah, need to do this on the other terminal as well. Yep. So let's try to connect. So I have the IP, the username, and the password. Let's just try publishing the topic. So this time I don't really do anything. I'm just trying to connect to make sure it's able to connect. So for subscription, I can do subscribe topic or consume from queue. So I'm gonna do this later on, but let's go back to the broker and prepare the queues. So this is the manager, and this is the queue. So we don't have a queue. I'm gonna create a new one called a queue underscore fast. So this is gonna be a sample queue that's gonna be a healthy queue. So I'm gonna make it name fast to make it easy to understand. And let's have a topic subscription. So I talk about topic subscription in my blog, so if you're not familiar with it, but this one is going to listen to order initiation with wildcard. So at the end, and it can be anything. And then another queue called let's say I'll call it slow. Maybe this one, yeah, we need to make it rather large because there's going to be a lot of pending queues here later on when we do the test. And the subscription would be, let's say this is for a paid order event, so I'm gonna put like that, create, and I'm gonna add one more queue, which is the one that's gonna be very slow. Let's name it very slow. Same thing, make it rather large, and the subscription would be, maybe this is for failed or error event. So let's do failed, yep. Wildcards, yes, and another one. So this is going to be error. Yeah. So you can have many multiple subscriptions in one queue, that's fine. So yeah, we have 3 queues and listening to 4 different topic subscriptions. So for this one, I'm going to be listening to the fast queue, and yeah, I also need to add retry count. This one is basically to reconnect if I lost the connection. So let's make it 30. It's running fine. Now we should be able to see that one consumer is active now, but no traffic at all yet. Let's do the slow connection as well. Same thing, I'm going to do a retry count of 30. That's running fine. and yep, this one is gonna be the very slow queue. Yep. So now we have all consumers running, but we still have no traffic incoming or outgoing. Now we're gonna start sending some stuff in. So instead of sending to try me, I'm gonna send to all those topics. So first is init. Let's say this is for test 1 2 3, and another topic. So this is a list. PTL is public topic list. Test 1 2 3. Yep. And then the for the third queue, it's gonna be failed. Test 1 2 3, and another one is gonna be the error 1 2 3. Yep. So I'm publishing. Also the RC30 is added, and then so how much I'm gonna do a message rate of 10,000 maybe. Yep. And with a, so I'm gonna need to do 10 client connections to simulate 10 different threads, and the size of the payload is gonna be 1 kilobyte, and I'm gonna send quite a lot of numbers for now. This is the number of messages to send, and make it a persistent delivery just in case. So this is running. Now we start seeing some traffic coming in. So this is the healthy or the ideal, the normal situations where we have 3 different queues just working fine, coming in and out as needed, not really any pending queues. Keep refreshing this, but because I'm using rather slow instances for the publisher and subscriber, there's likely gonna be some network bandwidth limit hit on this test, but that's fine. Okay, so next let's try to make now we start simulating a slow consumer by, so we have this SD, which is the delay. We can introduce a 1 millisecond delay for that one, and this one I'm gonna make it rather slow, very slow, so 10,000, which is 10 seconds delay for every 1 message I consume. So we see that the outgoing rate or the consumption rate has dropped to below 900 for that one, and this one is, we don't really see it because it's just going to be 1 message coming out every 10 seconds. And let's see if we can spot that in action. Come on. Yep, that it is. So every 10 seconds it will take 1 event and out. So we're basically simulating 1 applications becoming rather slow and another one becoming very, very slow. So immediately we see messages start to pile up in the 2 queues, and in overall we start seeing 3.5 gigabyte messages pending, and the outbound rate, the egress rate, some people say, is also dropping. So this is something that we usually see happening, and this is usually a very fatal problem for other brokers, but let's see how Solace handles that. So let's just keep it going like this for some time, and we will see the messages queued is gonna be increasing quite fast. We're at 5 gigabyte now. So 3% of the configured quota of 200,000 megabyte, which is 200 gigabyte. That again depend on your setup. let's just see how it reacts. So after this, we can monitor the healthy applications which we don't have delays introduced in the SDK perf. That should not be impacted by the other two that becoming slow and putting on pressure or burden to the broker by not consuming as fast as they can. So I'm gonna just keep this going for some time. Yeah, now we've seen 50 plus gigabyte pending. And now we're gonna see what happens if we need to do a failover. So this is the status showing is in highly available group, and yeah, we're just gonna kill the primary broker for now. Yep. So this should trigger a failover, and now we should have the backup taking over, but the application is now getting a connection refused for some time while the failover is happening. Right, so we have 53 gigabyte worth of pending messages stored, and it was there when we are still connecting to the primary broker. We will see how it goes when the applications reconnect once the backup is fully taken over the activity. So the idea is that this should not be very long if we have like 50 gigabyte of pending message compared to if we have nothing pending. So we aim for linear time of failover regardless of how big the pending messages is. So it's stop, and yeah, let's wait and see. Yeah, now that is the okay. Let me check back what was the sequence number. So yeah, it is already reconnecting, but just want to see how many attempt was done until we got the connection back. Also, it's attempt 8 of 30 as we see there just now, and now this is the successful one, attempt 9 of 30. So with the interval of 1 second, it was roughly 9 seconds. But then we just need to refresh this. Okay, let's just go from this link, so I don't need to put in the username password because the session change. But yeah, we see the 53, now it's 53.9 gigabyte message is all there. It's all good. So this amount of data is does not affect the time of the failover, and this is largely because both the active and the backup actually have their own copy running synchronously. Now we just restart this back. By default, it does not revert back activity to the primary just yet. That's the default setting. We can change that if we need. But yeah, that's the test. If you want to try it out, just head to solace.dev or solace.cloud, so whichever ones you want to try. And yeah, thanks.